So what we've got here is the IP stand. It's obviously in the
Are you trying to do another video?
Well, I was going... Dave, why are you dressed as Santa?
You asked me to dress as Santa. It's Christmas. What do you think I was going to dress as? Easter Bunny?
It is Christmas. It is Christmas. So what does that mean we're doing? What are we doing?
We've been through this already. We're going to give the prizes away.
Right, come on then.
Let's just go and give the prizes away to these lovely ladies and gentlemen.
Am I finishing the... Should I finish the video? No,
you're on the naughty list. You've got some cleaning up to do.
Right, so,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Christmas edition part 1, part 2 to follow. All these lovely ladies and gentlemen that have been on the nice list are going to get a chance to win some of these lovely prizes and a couple of mystery prizes which we'll throw in after to make it mysterious. So, the first one will be the DVS Hikvision bag, laptop bag, lovely. A few people have already got them. You could be the next lucky winner. Another DVS Seagate flask to keep that lovely hot drink in for the winter. Or a dash cam. So when you're out late at night, you may have a chance of capturing Father Christmas on his sled, delivering presents from the dash of your vehicle. Or my sled. So, to begin with a chance of winning this lovely bundle of equipment plus mystery prizes, all you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel first and foremost, and then like or comment on the video that's shared on LinkedIn or the Facebook forums. And then we'll pick a lucky winner that will see this bundle before Christmas. And while you're on it, I just want to say thank you for all the support this year that you've given myself, Jake, the marketing department, and DVS as a total. We really, really appreciate it. This is just one of the small token gifts that we're offering. We'll be back next year with some more how-to videos, more fun, more frolics. Don't forget, have a nice restful Christmas, and friends and family first. Okay, welcome to another how-to video. My name's Dave Davis, CTO at DVS. Thanks for Seagate for sponsoring us. Today we're going to take a very brief overlook at HikCentral. This is version 1.3 I'm going to show you. There's two parts to this. There's the client and there's the web portal where you do your configuration. So a server client application, what we're going to do is dive into, connect to it via my laptop to my server that I have in my office. The servers are typically capable of handling 3,000 cameras, so it's very, very scalable, and they've got different modules that allow you to bolt in additional functionality like facial recognition, ANPR, time and attendance, etc, etc, etc. So it's a very, very powerful, enterprise, our version of an enterprise solution. So what we're going to first do is take a straight dive into the web client, and then we'll look at the client app, which is typically what the end user would use and engage with. So open up the web portal, we're going to dive straight in. So we'll log in as admin and log you in. So as we go in, you can see it's built up into multiple tabs. Very easy to see. If you used IMS 5200 before, it's very similar to IMS 5200. So nice and familiar. If you haven't, it's going to be a new experience to you, but it is laid out so easily you should be able to find your way around. First thing you need to do when you go in is under license details, it'll show you what the current system is enabled for. So here you can see everything that I have enabled on my system. I have virtually everything enabled because I do a lot of testing and support for this. Under the license list, it gives you your actual license code, which enables all of this in the background, and when you click on it, it tells you further what you've got. To update the license by default, you'd use the online update. It's much easier than the offline activation, but you go to update license, online update, type your code in there and click update. It'll ask you to tick a box to accept the terms and conditions and then click OK, and then you will be logged in with that particular license. If for any reason you need to change the server, always make sure you deactivate the license by online deactivation, and then you can install that on another PC should there be an issue with the hardware on this PC. It makes it a little bit more difficult if you have to switch PCs further on and you haven't done that process. If you're also offline, like in a location with no internet, or it's a secure location is completely ring fenced, you can actually export the license key and update license, send it to DVS. Hopefully that's where you purchase it from, but whoever you did get that from, we can help you provide the license key that then you import back, which will activate the system. So 2 different methods. Online is much easier and very quick. You can also download the relevant HikCentral control client from that link there for ease of use of your customer. What you've got there is also web client for the client and web, the manual, so you can download them. They got, the Windows help one, so you can navigate straight to the part you're trying to ask for help with, or you can actually just download it, put it in a PDF and give it to the customer so they've got a hard copy. Everyone's different, it's up to you how you do it. And you've got the backup and restore system, so you can export the configuration data, so all that data, save it onto a USB stick or just directly onto the server. You can also back up and restore from multiple systems or from a previous restore that did work, that you may have changed something that hasn't worked. It's automatic, but you can do the backup and restore manual from that location there. RSM, the remote site management, allows you to pull multiple systems, multiple servers geographically into one location, so it looks like one unified front end. It's a little bit complicated. We're not going to go through that today because you need multiple sites. I've only got this site. I'd have to have multiple sites for this to work. It's quite specific. If you need help with that, we can talk about that separately outside of this environment. Physical view, that's where you add all of your devices into the system. So I've obviously got some devices added already. You can see there I've got a turbo DVR which is offline. So you click on the exclamation, it tells me it's offline. So I've unplugged it just so you can see that it's live monitoring it. If I plugged it back in, it'd come back online. It also has the SADP function built in where it scans the network, shows all the devices. You're able to add them directly from there, activate them, change the IP address, etc, etc. And you've also got the remote config capability directly from the operation tab. So if I click on that and drag, and let me go and get it because it goes onto my other desktop. There's your remote page for your end device. So we've basically opened up the web configuration for the NVI in question, where you can help set up that device totally. And then I'll close that down. Where are we? Up there. Close that down. But again, it's very full functionality, similar to 4200, but obviously much more enhanced. Okay, access control device. That's where you add any of your ACUs. If you've got any ACUs online, your access control devices, I have got some already online here. I'm not going to add them. I'm going to do a separate video which has access control as a whole video, because there's a lot you can do with access control. But that's where you add your devices. You can add this. HikCentral is ever evolving. I said this is version 1.3. It evolves very, very quickly. Enhanced, every release has got enhanced capabilities of the last version and adds more back-end support. So currently we can support most of our devices with access control, facial recognition, UVSS, the under vehicle scanning systems, you name it, people counting, heat mapping, etc, etc, etc. It's all there. Recording server. So if you had the setup, so you had like the P storage, hybrid storage like NAS, SANs, cloud storage servers, there's different recording servers that you can set up, and it basically gives another method of storing the actual footage outside of this server. The server currently doesn't do that in itself. There's no built-in recording service. You have a dedicated one for that. It's for jobs that if you wanted it outside of the NVR, DVR environment and you wanted it on the recording server, you can start developing like redundancy in that manner as well. Again, talk to us here. We can talk through the different deployment methods and the different back-end devices which support this method. Okay, streaming server, not typically needed in day-to-day environment. A streaming server is the gist of it is it's a service that handles the inbound and outbound video. Most jobs don't require this at the size we're dealing with generally at the moment. If we do need it, we'll tell you about it, and it's something that you bolt on which will handle the inbound outbound video streaming. But I say typically we don't need it. I haven't set it up because I have no need for it currently, but it's something we judge on the size of the system and what you're doing with it and how it's being distributed. Smart wall is basically the video wall function. So here you add your decoding devices. You click on add, it knows there's a decoder in there. You can add the decoder straight into there. I think that's the right password. No, wrong password. It must be the older one. There we go. So basically under there now, as you can see, it's got the decoding device in there. You can add the smart wall, like say we'll do it like a 2x2. So it's 4 segments. You can drag and drop cameras from this, you know, in the client, your smart one enables you to drag and drop cameras into there. It'll also allow you to dedicate a tile for alarm operation. For instance, if you had a lot of alarms and you want to dedicate this top left hand to the alarm linkage for the alarm monitor, it's very simple to do that. So you can actually add multiples in there, multiple decoding devices, and build up a fully controllable video with alarm support in there as well. And then you can click the settings and it takes you straight to that. It's come off here again because of the dual monitor, but that's the decoding web page. We'll come off that. Okay. Next one down is the logical devices. So this is where you build up your area. So under here I've got them all under the DVS HQ, but you could add one and call it north, south, east, west, store number, you know, whatever you want to do, however you want to break that up within your system. It could just be one site and everything's listed under there like I have. And then on the right hand side it shows you every device is connected to it, even the ones that are offline. And you've got your access points, your alarm inputs, alarm outputs, and under vehicle scanning solutions or systems. What you can also do then is have a GIS map. So we support the GIS map. I've already added one here of our office area. So it shows you on here where our office is. And if I move that out the way, you can see where our office is here. We've got an icon then which relates to our office. And then under here, if I drag out the way, I've dropped some cameras on there just to show you. And you can actually edit the detection area. So it gives you a pattern of what that detection looks like. So if it's a fixed camera or if it's a PTZ, you could do a 360. But if it's a fixed one, it'll show you the detection area, your field of view, so quickly your guards can see what cameras are covering what areas, so it helps them do their job more efficiently, if you want to look at it from that way. We'll come and show you the mapping within the client itself is more apparent. This is where you build it all up, so you just drag and drop all of your access points, alarm inputs, outputs, etc., all onto there. You can also add hot regions, labels, filters, etc. And we'll go back to the main GIS map there. So underneath that, you've got your event and alarm. So you've got different types of, you've got events and alarms. So they activate differently. So if you've got under system monitored events, for instance, you click on add, you select your source, so you can select any of these. You can select the event and then what it's linked to, click add, and then it starts letting you build up. So if it's a triggered image, does it show you the GIS map? Does it do another event, an event trigger an event, etc. So you just build them up as you need them. I've already got a few in there already. Generic event, click on that. It's the TCP IP or UDP. It's basically, we sniff the network, find the packets that are being sent over it, but between our expression, and we can translate that into an event. It's quite difficult if you don't know what you're doing. You kind of know what you need to know what you're looking for on the network to start with, but we can pump that raw data into us. We enable that within the system configuration as well, and we can tell a third-party device to pump that information over to us, and we look for that data, and then we can run an event based on it. User-defined events, so you can actually make an event based on a user-defined action, and then you've got your alarms. So I've added some alarms in there already. So I've added like a panic alarm, license plate. So for the ANPR, I've actually made these already. So it's a license plates matched and a license plate mismatch. So it shows the red plates, not only the ones that are in the whitelist, blacklist, but any plate, because you can do it by match, so it only runs an event. So the matched event would be, it shows me, and if it's in the whitelist, it then triggers a barrier. A mismatch is, it could be this vehicle isn't allowed on site, please run a separate event because that vehicle shouldn't be allowed on the site, or we just want to see vehicles that are coming on the site just for reference, so you build it up that way. And I've also added in the facial recognition alarm, but we'll come to that in a minute because I think the facial recognition one is very powerful in itself. Access levels, this is where you add your access control details in. I say we'll do a separate video on that because there's a lot that we can do with access control now within HikCentral. Time and attendance, again, you can build up your shifts and schedules for time and attendance, so we support that via a license. Person, this is where we add our people of interest in. So what we do is we take a snapshot. So if I want to add somebody in, so I've already added myself in a couple of different times, so I can actually click add, name, test, last name, test. You can take a picture or upload a picture. Somebody's given you a JPEG. So this is for facial recognition. This could be for access control. We can tie this person record to access control, facial recognition. So if they're on a blacklist and you need to know when they come in your premises, so you can get somebody to go and tend to them, even if it's a VIP. So maybe they come in a high roller, you want to go and get them staffed very quickly so they can spend their money faster. But you can upload a picture, and you can do it for, if I got a laptop with a built-in camera, or you can upload a picture yourself. Okay, I'm not going to install that now, but you can do that. Put the details in there. They're not mandatory, but you can give this to give you more details if necessary. And then if you want them to be in a face comparison group, you select that. Your effective period, so start and end time when that person is active, and you can scroll through and start adding more and more details to them depending on what you're trying to do. So if you're using it for access control and time and attendance, fingerprint, etc., you build all that information into that record. I'll cancel that. So if I click on myself here, you can see I've already put some of those details in, but we'll do the access control one after. The face comparison group, under the face comparison group there, I've added a few people in there. So I can actually add this person straight in. If I had those persons in the list, I can add them straight in, or I can do it from the front end. And it's basically, you can have multiple groups. I've just made up one called DVS HQ. You can have whitelist, blacklist, by shop, by location, visitors, staff, VIP, high roller, whatever that may look like. You build that list up that's appropriate to how you're deploying it across your estate. What you then do is, you can actually fill, and when you click on the edit, you give it a name, threshold, if you want it like a threshold, so the similarity threshold. So if it's like 80%, it'll only match the person on 80 or more % recognition. Then you add in what cameras are doing it for the facial recognition. We've already done that, so I got 3 cameras doing the facial recognition here. Once you've done that, you click apply to device, and that will download it to the appropriate NVRs in question. What this does, I don't know if anyone knows this, but if you create records on HikCentral and you have the facial recognition NVR technology on the site, which is the recommended use of it, it actually sends the records down to the NVR. So that person may already exist on the NVR, but you're creating a record that's unique to HikCentral that on the NVR, and it does the modelling on the NVR, so the picture's captured on the site or the camera to the NVR. It then pushes it back to HikCentral that's already, after it's been modelled, and gives it a percentage, and then it runs the appropriate event if there was one to run. So we've already set that up. You've got access groups and attendance groups. Then the next one down, you've got the vehicles. So if you wanted, we put you click on add, you put a list name, import vehicle plate numbers, or download the template. If you want to download the template, click open. It's going to open on my other page, so I'll just drag this across. So here's the template. So you can actually start now filling this in, expand them with all the details there. So if you've got loads of data to put in, thousands of vehicles, hundreds of vehicles, whatever that may look like, it's easier to copy and paste it from another database, import it, and it's nice and easy for you to use that. Once you filled it in, you can then save it and then import that, or you can just create a list, click add, give it the plate number, so ABC 123. Effective period, so like today to there, okay. Owner, Dave, phone number 999. If you've got an under vehicle scanning solution installed, you actually upload the image of the captured underplate vehicle scanning, and it ties the two together. So the under vehicle scanning and the ANPR can all work in harmony. I don't have that installed. Then you click add and it adds it in, and you can keep going from there on, and you can see each one individually. You can have multiple lists in there. So that's the ANPR. So it could be whitelist, blacklist, barrier control, whatever. If you want more control than is currently in there, then it's IMS 5200 ANPR parking. That has a massive list of functions that's very separate to HikCentral. So if that's not enough for you, in 90% of the case it is. If it's not, speak to us and we can look at the IMS 5200 parking solution management. Very different solution. Again, under security then, you've got lots of different things. So your roles, users, security settings. So all the different types of settings that's unique to your system, different roles and different users. And actually, we support active domains, so you can pull them across from an active domain. We've done that several times for various clients. It works really well. And then you've got your system settings. So you've got like your site name, your map, your GIS map settings, your icon settings. You can change icon settings for the maps, etc. Server usage thresholds, so you can set the thresholds for alarm on the server. So if they go above 80% or below 60%, whatever you may deem as a usable figure, you can set there the thresholds. Anything below or above will cause an alarm to be created. An event then can be run. Your network settings, NTP settings, Active Directory. Receiving the generic event, so you enable that, which allows us to receive that TCP, IP or UDP data we talked about earlier. Site registration, that's when you're using the RSMs. One access mode, so one access, you turn that on and put the external IP address so other clients can connect into the main server. Network timeout figures, device access mode, server NICs, etc. You can keep going through your emails. If you want to set up email, so for your events, it can be set up to automatically email you. You can do all that from in there. It's all set up from there, and then you've got some advanced functionalities there, hotspare mode, etc, etc. So that's a very, very brief overlook at the HikCentral web client, and there's a lot to do, there's a lot to take in. I know it's a very brief snapshot. What we'll do now is I'll close this down and I'll come back when we've got the HikCentral client running. We'll take a quick look at that. Okay, welcome back. We're going to have a very quick look at the actual client now, because this is what the end user would engage in. So basically, under the client app there, click on show server address. I'll help if my mouse is on the correct part. Click show server address. So you put your IP address and the ports it connects to. I've already typed my password in, so we're going to click login. So that's going to open up our client. Just wait for that. So it's very flat UI design. So I think it's a brilliant design. So on the left hand side is designed so you've got your monitoring, so your live view and playback from the same side, your alarm center, then you've got your investigation tools, video analysis, maintenance, and some stuff on the right hand side for broadcast, VS Player, Smart Wall, etc, etc, etc. So we'll run through it very quickly. So under monitoring, click on that. So what it does, it loads the interface, and you've got the actual my main site there. But if you had different sites, you'd have them in the drop down box there, or you've got the search function there. You've got each device added, so there's all my devices, so I can simply drag and drop them in, and there's a snapshot of each camera so you can see what they mean, or what they're referencing. Or I can just drag that whole site in and click play in batch, and then all of the cameras will start to load. So it's a little bit slow because I'm trying to do a screen capture as well as play loads of cameras, so got to bear with it. You can see there each camera is loaded. If I double click on one, for instance, like the Dark Fighter X on the corner, it loads that up individually and it goes back into there. You'll notice at the bottom of the screen it doesn't have the ability to do the actual view function. They took it out on version 1.3. It's going back in version 1.3.1, so you'll have the view section back in there to be able to do the split screen directly. But for now, if you wanted to add another camera in, you can simply drag a camera, drop it into a tile, and it'll just simply add it on there. And then you can add, save the views anyway. So if you click on that save icon there, you can create a view and call it public or private. There's two views. Public view is anyone who logs into the software. Private is just for the user who's created it. I'm not going to save that because I've already got some views saved. We'll stop that decoding. There we go. The fisheye de-warp has been improved on this, so if we look at the fisheye camera, drag that in, you've got the demo room where I'm sitting, so you can see my hand up there. I'm down the other end of the room, so there we go. If we go to the fisheye de-warp there, click that, you can see it's got the bowl de-warp. If I zoom in and then start manipulating it, you can see the de-warp has been massively improved to what it was before. And there's me doing the video. Hello. The detail is much better than it's ever been. So that's the new improved fisheye de-warp. So I'm really impressed with that. and then you click undo wallpaper. You've got all of the icons down there that you typically have on any VMS. So your snapshot, your print, your record, your audio, your two-way audio, your digital zoom, your camera status, mainstream, substream, view it. So if we click that live view on smart wall, it sends it straight to the decoder. Click on that and it would send that camera directly to the decoder had I set that up. And you've got your alarms, etc. So if I just drag this over here, you can see now there's my smart wall, and then that would actually start showing my images. I haven't set it up, like I said, the decoder is being used in a separate software, so I'll do a separate video on the actual decoder keyboard and software, because that's a powerful solution all by itself. So we'll close that down, stop the view on this. So that's all of my cameras there. What we've got then is the face comparison. So if I click on that, do the list there. So click on the DVS HQ. Let's have a look now. If I go and walk in front of a camera, my face should detect. There we go. So on we've got the two different lists there, the face comparison and the list there. So it's my target photo and the actual photo. That's my live photo and that's my my captured database photo. So it's saying 97% accurate. You can actually click on live view on there and it'll show you the image live within that video pane there. You've got information, so you can click information and it tells you all about me, because I've already been saved in there. Or you can click search and it'll show you all of the faces of me being captured. What we can do is, this is not, I wasn't going to do this now, but we will do it under health monitoring, encoding device. It's this face rec one here. And now we're showing all of the other captures of me that's caught me on the system. Oh, Father Christmas is in the house. So even dressed as Father Christmas, it still knows that I'm there. What you can also do is adjust the similarity, or you can upload a picture. So if someone could give you a picture of a suspect, you could click upload picture, put it in there, and then it'll try and find the cameras that have been set up under the facial recognition system. It'll try and find if that person has been in and link the video footage to it. So very, very powerful. I can add more cameras in than that, so I've only got one camera in there, but I could say I've actually got more than one camera doing it. Let's add all of them in, close that. Now click search. This might take a lot longer. Search across all of them. There we are, so it's different cameras. That's one camera, 97% there, so if you double click on it, it shows there. You've got the video of me being captured. There we are, that's the capture shot of that. And you've got the picture of the capture, and you've got that camera there. There's also one on the front door, but I haven't been through that way today. So that is the facial recognition. So under, oops, sorry. Back into monitoring. So that's a little bit about the face comparison. If it's an undetected person that's not in the list, it will allow you to add them directly to the list as well. So if someone gets detected, you can click add and put them straight into a database straight from this interface. You've got your views, which you've already set up, and you've got your PTZ control. So if I go to a view I've already set up, which is the ANPR and facial recognition, so under there, it's going to show, so I can leave this open or I can leave it closed. So I'll leave that running there. But if I go through, actually, the face recognition one is there, yeah. So if I go to the camera there and get detected. So it actually shows you in the database itself, you know, on the image, that it's capturing the image. It's showing it there on the capture. As a vehicle comes in, with the ANPR, as a vehicle comes in, the number plate will be listed on the right hand side there. Same with that one. That one's got an error. I need to resolve that one. But that one there, if a car drove through, the number plate would be displayed on the right hand side. I don't know if we're going to be able to get a car to come through right now, but I'm going to close that list down anyway because we've done that, and let's see if a car does come through. Okay, so you can see now we've actually got faces and vehicles. So if you click on the vehicles, you can click on that there and it'll show you the number plates. Click on that and it'll go to the playback. On that, you'll go to the playback of that plate. So you've got the number plate there, and you can download the footage from that by clicking download. So that's very nice and simple. So go back to the monitoring, and the same. So if you've got my actually, if I go double click on that, you can see where my face was captured on the face recognition camera on the front. I just went and done that, so we had a better all-round view. Same with cars that come in here, so I can mark that, or I can go into add it to a list or search again, and you've got that. It'll find it there, not supported, and you can click on download. So alarm center, so that's the monitoring. Let me just go back and stop all that. That's the main part I wanted to show you, was the actual monitoring side of it. Under your alarm center, this is where you've got all of your live alarms. So you can see there, that's all ANPR. And keep going down, loads and loads of ANPR. If I click on one, for instance, it brings up the shot, all of the details, like stop this car, blah 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 blah, because it's a mismatch, not allowed on site, so we actually capture that and stop it. If it was a facial recognition one, etc., all of those will be displayed on there. And you can actually click alarm displayed on smart wall, and it'll filter them by the ones that have only displayed on the smart wall. Again, click on it. We've only got the picture for that, so we got one for video. We've only set it up for pictures. Yeah, we've only set it up for pictures, but then you can acknowledge them and download them, etc. So you can click on it and then say, with all the alarms, it gives you the chance to give it a priority, and they're customizable. Say, yeah, to be a sight or clear remark, no issue. I can't spell no. Click acknowledge, and then that's gone out with a list. It says 512 unacknowledged alarms. I'm not going to go and acknowledge all of them right now when I'm doing a video, but you can see how easy it is to then go and make the actual alarms. Any alarm though, you can have the videos, the map come up, and all sorts. It's so versatile, and you can have display related video on map, so you can select it and display it on the map. Display video on map. Yeah, if there's a map come in, it would actually show there where the event was. You can arm and disarm the alarms from this arming control, so if there's nuisance alarms, you can arm and disarm them. Go back to the live view. So the alarm center in itself is just a fantastic tool. Lots of work done around that. It's probably the most powerful module that we've put in there. Alarm and event search is a full alarm and event search functionality. So you could say pick a camera, so it's alarm input, your source could be let's go for the 4K NVR, all of those alarms, and close, trigger an event, alarm input, close, and then you can put the time. Let's put the custom time interval, and it could have been from like the 1st of October to now. Click on OK, click search. Oh, there's only 31 days because of how I've done it. So let's go back to November. I haven't even triggered any in that time anyway, so I've actually gone and set an alarm up, so you can see there's a panic alarm. It tells you where it's from, shows you the related video to the incident and the GIS map, and you can go to the alarm time, live view, smart wall. So it's very, very configurable. And I can click on it to acknowledge it. if I go up there, click on it and say alarm category true, remark false alarm, click acknowledge, and that's done. Then when I go into event and alarm search, I've got my alarms there, last 7 days, click search. It'll show you the alarm there. You can actually click on download and download the footage directly to the software from there. I've got 4 cameras linked to this, so it might take a while. So there we go, so you've got your footage download in there. So your search functionality is there. So that's down to the direct access mode, but I'll sort that out after. You've got your event search, your alarm event search. So again, similarly, your source, you put your source in there. So it could be your 4K NVR, that one there, trigger an event, line crossing, for instance, and then click search, and it'll go away and search all of the footage. So there's nothing found, but that's how you would do it if there was something set up. So very configurable on that aspect. If we choose, let's just get rid of that. Get rid of that. Close. And we'll do the camera. Click on it. Do it this way. T85. Yeah. That one. Trigger an event. Line crossing. Click search. Again, nothing, but you've got your search functions there. Video search, click on that, pop the tab out on the side there. What you can do, this is a good one, for a VCA event, you can choose a camera. So, sorry, if I had a VCA setup, I could choose a camera, draw the VCA rule, and then click search. But I don't have one set up for that within the software. What else can we show you? That's about it on there. So what we'll do now is go back to the main. Or you can search like tag locked file segments, etc. Transaction events. So you've got full video search functionality under there. Vehicle search, we've already showed you, that's your ANPR stuff. Access control, we'll do a separate video on that. We don't have that set up now. People analysis, we'll do another video on people counting, etc. But we have a people counter set up. So if we look at the 4K NVR, that one there, close it, and then we'll do like a monthly report. There you go, so there's a people counting. And the same with queue analysis. We have got a queue analysis done, a camera in there, but we can do that as a separate video. A bolt on, here heat mapping, so we can search for a camera, which will be the fisheye. So 12 megapixel fisheye, click on a monthly report, click generate report. And that would give you your heat map. There's been no activity in here over the month. It's been a very quiet month in here. But if it was set up for heat mapping and there was a lot of activity, you'd get your areas drawn on there. Or you could select that one and then select generate report. We're only a couple of days into. Let's go for November then. Let's do monthly. Do the 11th month. No, I don't. Oh, my mouse is going everywhere. No, I haven't set it up properly, but that's where you do your heat mapping. Go back to the beginning. got your temperature, vehicle analysis. I don't have the vehicle analysis set up. Health monitoring and audit trail, so it's all fully tracked through there. So health monitoring actually gives you a dashboard, and it tells you anything that's offline, and you can address it. So encoding devices, storage servers, recording exceptions, you click on it and then go from there. And same with your audit trail and the health monitoring and encoding devices. You can actually click on one. So if you click on a device like the 4K NVR, highlight it, and then go switch to device direct access, you can actually affect how this system operates to those devices. So we'll do that, then it'll save it. So it's the next release will do this automatically. For now, you have to set it depending on what you're doing with the software. So I've set it to proxy, which is like an automatic thing, and that will alter the way that we search for the files within the system. The next version will do it automatically. That's like a very, very brief overview. I'll do heat mapping, people analysis, temperature, and that. I'll do them as separate videos because they're quite important as a standalone one. Same with access control. It was more to give you a brief overview of how the system worked. I'm going to show you something very quickly on the HikCentral app on the mobile device of how you can actually capture and add a person to the facial recognition database itself. It's really, really unique and a fantastic function, but this is the client side done. So I shall see you in a minute. So this is the HikCentral app on your phone. So there's lots of full functionality. So you've got your views, your alarms, me, etc. There's a unique feature called Add Person. So click on Add Person. I can click on take a photo or select from album. Let's select an album, yes, and let's just pick my son. Click on OK. Give him a name. Just put Davis Max. You can do the start end time, so you see you've got that image there. Start time, yes. End time, yes. Done. Gender, male. Okay. Now I can click upload. That has now uploaded that person record straight to HikCentral. So if I go here and log in, so if you're a security guard out and about, you can capture images and upload them at your convenience. And the person, you can see there's my little boy added straight to the database. So you can use your phone as the information gathering device to add people live to a facial recognition database if you need to put them in now, or as an administration tool for the system later on. Thanks for watching. Keep sharing, liking, commenting. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it took so long, but it's a massive piece of software that's got so much functionality in there. We had to take a little bit of time to show you. Take care and see you next week. Bye.